LK Brereton, and this is the real spiel, drill, my Hebrew mentor and language specialist to the world. We got to get you guys into these Hebrew courses. Really need to get that colonizer tongue out of your mouth and thoughts out of your brain. To FTA Theological Seminary, Pastor Thompson, and all of the great men and women of God of my great fellowship, First Lady Thompson, Miss Jeanette, Evangelist Cox, all of the big wigs that are in the building. Listen to me. Let's have a conversation about this case that is evolving before our eyes. Sean Combs. I put his well-known name. Used to be Puff Daddy. Used to be Puffy. Now it's Diddy. And let me tell you, this Diddy thing is sticking like Gorilla Glue. He is, of course, most of us know that he's on trial. He's on a Rico trial, which is an implication that he is a mastermind criminal running a criminal enterprise of sex trafficking, etc. And so this is where the federal government is trying to take this. And he's that sophisticated a culprit, and they're treating him basically like a guy who's, a major drug cartel leader. They're treating him on that level. And so Cassie has been on trial, has been on the stand, giving evidence for 2 days, and a whole lot of stuff has come up, and I'd like to talk about that whole lot of stuff. So, from the reports that we're getting from media that's in and out of the particular trial, it doesn't seem like the prosecution is doing a very good job in respect to making this a Rico case. They have all established that it is definitely a case of domestic violence. They have definitely brought out that the sexual deviance of both Sean and Cassie is extreme and is at some level of default disgusting. They've gotten into things like he has utilized, and her desperately wanting paid escorts that have urinated on her, urinated inside of her mouth and all kinds of things. And this fully pregnant woman is sitting here giving testimony. And this is the part for me that kind of turns my stomach as a man. Domestic abuse is one thing, and we can talk about whether or not her staying that long gave her some type of complicity in that. We can talk about that in a second. But what really turns my stomach isn't exactly what's going on between the two of them. It's how does the guy who has a baby inside of Cassie feel about this situation? Now, it's one thing for two people to have a Bobby and Whitney type of relationship, to have like toxic love back and forth. To me, that's neither here nor there. That's something that's, of course, that's common if you're famous. You don't have to be famous for that. You don't have to have millions of dollars to have toxic, weird love. You don't have to be famous for that. There's too many hood stories for that. What is weird to me is that this young lady who has allegedly moved on emotionally, which is not the case based on her testimony yesterday, is now pregnant with another man's child. She's married. And some would say, well, this man, knowing her history, he signed up for this. A lot of you people would want to say that, right? Both male and female. Not going to say which more, because I don't want to get in trouble. But they're going to say, oh, this brother signed up for that. That's what he wanted. He knew the situation. He signed up for that. He was okay with that. And let's say, for argument's sake, he was totally cognizant of every disgusting detail of that relationship. He was totally on board with it. He's like, that's fine. That's past. I'm not worried about that. You know, took a shower. You gargled. We took some blood tests. You're good now. You know. Don't want to quote a Shabba Rank song, but he's washed. Let's leave it there. And now she's pregnant with your child, and you're fine because you've accepted that. Because some people say, well, he accepted that. He knew what he wanted. But did your mother sign up for that? Did your father sign up for that? Did that unborn child sign up for that? And everybody associated with your family that this young lady who has gone through a hell of an affair, partially because she wanted to, partially because she was young and naive, and partially because she was abused. Let's break it into three pieces. That's a whole lot for your family to sign up for and say, yeah, that's my daughter-in-law right there. That's a mother of my grandchild. That's my auntie. That's my mom. Like, that kid's gonna grow up with that. That's a lot. It's a lot to go through. But anyway, I'll come back to that. Apparently, let's deal with Cassie on. Cassie breaks down, which was one of the most pivotal things for me. Apparently, she broke down while on the stand. And of course, we can attribute to this to the emotions of being pregnant with somebody else's baby. But she said, I would have done anything he wanted. I still love him. And I would do anything for him. Well, this kind of kicks the Rico case in the head, really. The day before, the male escort said it was Cassie that requested his services, not Combs. And so right now, from my perspective, and they keep asking questions, you know, did Sean pick out Mr. Combs? Did he pick out your clothes? Yes, he did. Did he tell you what to wear? Yes, he did. I didn't know that was punishable by federal prosecution, picking out your woman's clothes. Did he tell you how your hairstyle? Yes, he did. Your nails? Yes, he did. I didn't know that was a crime. Now, don't get me wrong. This guy's a disgusting monster, right? They should do something with guys like Puffy. Like Puffy, the Puffies of the world. I call him Puffy because in my era he was Puffy. In your era he's P-Diddy. I don't know. But he's a disgusting monster. I don't want to even demonstrate a level of sympathy for this weirdo, right? This disgusting, cockroach of a human being. I want to be clear that I have no allegiance, no affect, no empathy, nor sympathy for anything that pertains to that man. I want to be very, very crystal clear about that, right? The R. Kellys and all the likes of them, you know, they can all get kicked in the head and throw them in a ditch somewhere. I don't care. Let God settle that, right? People, we know how we are. We've made our decision. You mess with people's children, to me, there's no redemption for me for that. You got to deal with God with that one, right? Now, and let's not leave it at them. To all the parents who participated in selling their children to those monsters, I pray there's a special hot place in the lower regions of the eternal world for you, Pan, with hot grease. Okay, you don't deserve any better. You should be in a cell right next to Kelly, R. Kelly, and right next to Sean. But he probably will never get in a cell for the Rico case. That's where I want to go with that. But let's just be clear. I'm not on this guy's side. So, but when it comes to establishing a precedent, a rule of law, common law, and I'm going to go there, about putting black men in prison for their domestic relationships. And let's name a few. Right? Let's go. We got Cosby. Don't leave him out. Shannon Sharp's coming around the corner, as we know. Right? We can't leave out Bill. We can't leave out Shannon. We got R. Kelly. We got P-Diddy. And the list goes on of men, black men, who have been prosecuted criminally for domestic situations, but it has been exasperated and expanded into wider levels of charges. The question remains, why don't you take that magnifying glass to the White House, right? Take it to every single multi-billionaire. We know about Epstein and all these other pedophile. Take it to the governor's mansions, right? Let's dig up old Hugh Hefner. Let's dig up that old fossil freaky deaky wearing a house coat every day of his doggone life. Let's dig him up and put his behind on trial too. Because it is very clear that the sport of the rich and the famous and the powerful is sexual lewdness. It is their sport. It is their sport. But it is interesting that when it shifts, if you will, into the land of melanin empires and powers, that these things become RICO charges. We all know the rumors that when Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC, all of a sudden all hell started falling on his head. We know that. Shannon Sharp's about to be $100 million icon. All kind of stuff starts falling on his head. Right? I don't know what Sean was up to next. I don't know what Kelly was up to next. But it is very clear that they throw the book away at these Negroes. And to be honest with you, they should. The book should be thrown away on them. But the problem I have is that they don't have enough co-defendants sitting in the box with them. Because I am positive that when you go for a Negro hunt for sexual lewdness, you're going to find some Caucasian fellas in there. You're going to find a couple Caucasian fellas in there holding the bag, holding holding the Casamigo bottle, holding the roofie pills. You're going to find a lot of them guys in there too. And in America, and this is really a typified conversation about America, a very interesting, I would say, microcosm of of massive one-sided justice. I won't call it injustice, because if it was injustice, it would mean that Sean was not supposed to be exactly where he's supposed to be, on the doggone hot seat for beating up people's children. That's exactly where he should be. And I'm upset it took Cassie so long. But again, this great American system that caused you to believe that everything is a price, your safety. Oh, well, if he gives you some money, it's okay. If he buys you stuff, it's okay. If he gives you a particular lifestyle, it's okay. And that the consumerism of America covers a multitude of sins. And that's a scary thing. That's a scary thing, when your soul can be purchased for a lifestyle. And I talk to some other people, I just say, well, you know, Cassie wanted the lifestyle, and she probably wasn't beaten every day. She probably, you know, that was a fetish, and, you know, she liked it, and she shouldn't be judged for her fetishes. Whether that to be true or not, it speaks an indictment on the soul of mankind that thinks like that. It does. Again, I'm raising 3 daughters. Raised 3 daughters. And I'm gonna say it like my good friend Mr. T. I pity the fool who thinks he's gonna victimize my child, and I'm not going to send him to Jesus. I don't know. I don't understand. I guess, and men who are not fathers, especially men who didn't have girl children, and you weren't maybe close with your girl children, and didn't have that skin to skin when they're babies laying on you, and didn't have them pulling on your beard and calling you daddy, and didn't have them walking around, you know, pick me up and on their shoulders, and you didn't have that experience. Maybe to you, you're okay with some stranger victimizing your child. Maybe that's okay to you. Me, I'm going balaclava black on you, baby. I said my whole life, I've saved to the best of my ability my criminal record, because if you damage my children, lights out. It's lights out for you. I've been put in this earth for one reason: to bring forth and to protect my children. That's the only reason you're here for. As a man, if you got any other reasons, let me know. Right? To bring forth, right, and to protect your children. So, if somebody's got your children in some type of jeopardy, it is your duty, it behooves you as a father, to be very much available to correcting that situation. And if you touch my child inappropriately, you never touch anybody else's child again, with that hand at least. You know, not with that hand. But Cassie, like I said, was sold to Puffy at a very young age, signed, sealed, and delivered at a very young age. And she's still sitting on the stand saying, hey, I still love him. I'm still connected to him. She has Stockholm syndrome for this man, even though she is pregnant and married to somebody else. That's a hell of a thing for the new guy. I don't know what y'all think, but that's a hell of a thing. And I'm not oblivious to how a man could look at a woman who has a past and say, you know what, I'm willing to put all that behind us and just be me and you now. Because this is something that you don't understand, most of you, that level of sexuality does not show up alone. It shows up, and some of you might say, oh, here we go, but it shows up with a demon attached to it. It shows up with a lustful spirit, if not one, more than one, and that draw to that woman is so, or man, if it's a man, is so powerful, palpable, and undeniable that if you don't know what that is, you will have no reason in your mind to why you are drawn to somebody who has been so dastardly treated and trodden on sexually, immorally, has had everything that you can imagine and more than that more done to her. And you look at her and said, mother of my children, baby. Oh, look at her. Mother of my children. But let's go to the other side of the spectrum. Let's say he didn't have a full capacity and full idea of everything that took place. And now it's being reenacted for him in trial. And apparently the gentleman is Caucasian, man. And I'm sure he has no racial bias. He married a woman of color. He's having a baby by her. He took on her baggage. But this thing affects you. When you're here, and I'm going to reverse it. I'm a black man, and, you know, I want to marry this famous woman, and Caucasian woman. And I know she's got a past, and she's been in entertainment, and she was abused by her boyfriend, and, you know, it was bad. You know, they had a bad abusive relationship. We hear that a lot. Guys hear that all the time. Yeah, my last boyfriend, you know, he was very abusive, and it was terrible. Like, it was so toxic, and I'm just so glad I'm away from him, and I'm just so much happy with you. And you're like, yeah, I'm glad I'm here to be your guy, babe. But then it comes out that you used to like that he urinated on you. Oh, Lord of mercy, that changes everything now. Lord, you didn't tell me all that. You didn't give me that. Well, I didn't want to tell you all that, babe. I didn't want to tell you. Yeah, you didn't tell me that. You guys used to do what? With hamsters? Oh my gosh. I'm sure this brother is sitting around talking about, like, Mom, I had no idea, Mom. I'm telling you, I had no idea. Well, you know she can't come back to our place for Thanksgiving. I won't have her eating out of the same cutlery. If she drinks out of a glass, I'm gonna throw it away. I don't mean to laugh, but I do. I mean, it's the truth, right? It's the truth, and it's terrible. Like, it's awful. It's really awful. Like, you know. But let's not pretend this is not a money grab. Let's not pretend. She's, first of all, went after the money. Let's not pretend that it's not a money grab for her. And she was willing to say, hey, give me the money or I will testify. I will sit in court and I will testify. I don't care. You better pay me my money. Oh, yeah? I will testify. You know what? I will testify, and I'll make the money off the book deal and the movie release afterwards, Puffy. Puffy should have thought that over. Puffy should have really thought that. Yeah, I release stuff bit by bit, and I have a feeling, it's just a feeling now, that even after, and I think he did give her a little money, you know, that husband probably came out there and said, oh yeah, you ain't gonna pee on my girl. Release this. Just release it. Bobby, just release it for me. Release it. I don't care if he did give us money. Release it. He might have gone behind her back and released some of them files himself. Who knows what really happened with that situation? I don't know. But I know doggone well, it ain't gonna be a regular Christmas in that house. It ain't gonna be a regular Christmas in that house, baby. I know that man ain't gonna kiss his wife the second. He gonna be like, give me one of them. That's gonna be a little different. You know, he might be lying down there and smell her. That, you know, sometimes you got that morning breath. You got that morning breath, and he smell that morning breath, and he might be thinking, "Oh my goodness, I wonder if that's escort urine in her mouth." Ew. Like, I don't know. My brain be just thinking of stuff. My brain just be thinking of stuff, man. I'm just like, I don't know, baby. That'd be a tough one. That'd be a tough one on me. That'd be a tough one on me. I mean, I don't know what Cassie's going to have to do to make that boy just forget about that for a second. She'd be like, baby, you don't worry about that. I didn't do anything to them the stuff I do to you. Really? We don't know. I don't know. But Cassie, but she's pregnant now. She ain't going to have to say much. You know? She ain't going to have to say much. But I think that relationship ain't going to last very long. I don't think that relationship's going to last much longer than the trial, if it makes it. I mean, she's going to have a baby and everything like that for this man. I think it's going to be tough. You know, because when you marry Blowjob Betty, and you got to go through life now, everybody says, "Hey, Bill, Blowjob Betty. I mean, Betty, how are you?" That's going to be hard, man. I'm sorry. That's just difficult for me. That's a tough one. That's a hard one for me. That's hard for me. But it's not my business because I'm not in that. But you know, this thing is really about the fact that the federal government is trying to pin a Rico case on a guy who simply should be charged with abuse, sexual abuse, you know, brutality, and that should be enough for him to go to jail for. I mean, making up all this other stuff is just dumb. The freak offs and all these kind of stuff, it's just stupid. Like giving a guy a Rico charge because he organizes parties that people want to have ridiculous relations. These people have no morality. And if you want to judge an American black man on morality in America, America has to put itself on trial first. Let's do this in order. Puffy has every reason to be judged by his peers and by the rule of law of any civilized society. Forget about whether it's America or not. But that society should hold itself to the same standard. And by the standards of America, it has no right to judge anyone on morality. On morality. This is not a morality trial. This is a trial about a man who brutalized a young girl that he was given charge over to expand her musical career. He took full advantage and he abused that little girl for years, traumatized her, okay, and changed her into something very ugly that she can never recover from, never get over. And even though she has a new life now, and even though she has a new husband, the stigma of this will never go away. Never. And therefore, and he's built some of his entertainment empire literally on the back of this little girl. And therefore, she's entitled to some of that doggone empire. Right? If you're holding parties and you're saying, "Hey man, come to my party, President Clinton, and let you sleep with Cassie." Ooh, Lord, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm bringing all of my senator friends. Yeah, if he's built his criminal empire, it is his musical empire on the criminal act of prostituting his girlfriend. It is a criminal act, in my opinion. Charge him for that. Right? Charge him for pimping if you want. Charge him for that if you want to. But the concept of a Rico, no, it's not just being a swinger with your girlfriend. That's basically what they were. Swingers. Karma's hitting him differently. Their ego will get a person all the time. You ain't joking there. You ain't joking. That's the truth. Brush your teeth real good. You ain't right. Butterfly kisses all day long. You don't even know what I was talking about, but it was funny. I'm talking about Puffy. I'm talking about Puffy's Rico charges, Cassie and her husband, and the fact that this thing is not a Rico charge. It's not a Rico charge. It's not. It's not a Rico charge. This is not a Rico charge. This is the brutality of a young girl, and he should go to jail for as long as they can give him. But let's not create a precedent here on him that should have been created on a lot of guys who came before him, right? A lot of guys that came before him. Let's just be honest with this thing. And don't get me wrong, I think Puffy should go to jail, like I said. But a lot of the stuff that they did here, I think it was unnecessary. I think that Cassie deserves a lot of money. I think she deserves royalties in Puffy's empire. I think from our side of it now, we're looking at it and saying, this girl was quite instrumental in his lifestyle for a period of 10 years. She was. That was a big draw. And I'm not saying she's on this level, but imagine if Jay-Z was having parties with Beyonce and telling people, come over here and you can sleep with Beyonce. I mean, that's wild, bro. It's absolutely wild. It's wild stuff. It's really wild stuff. And I have a feeling that more and more, I think this case is going to get even more bizarre, because anytime you tap into somebody's bedroom and you start telling them the stuff that you've been doing in the bedroom, to us listening, our ears are gonna start itching and say, "Oh, that's crazy. Y'all doing that? That's crazy." But a lot of y'all doing the same thing. A lot of y'all doing the same thing. Talk about, "Oh, that's crazy. Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know." Yeah. You look at people when they start listening to that stuff. Let's just let them talk. Yeah, that's what she did, eh? Interesting. Well, I mean, people have their fetishes and stuff, and when they start doing that, you be like, uh-huh. I see you, Cassie. I see you. Latinos for Trump. William Stratford, he comes out here talking about Latinos for Trump. Well, good for you. Good for you, William. Yeah, man, people get intrigued when they start hearing that. You're gonna hear some stuff. People have been really waiting to hear all the other names, which I also think that's ridiculous too. Right? If you're charging Puffy for something, Puffy had all these freaky deaky people at his party, right? And then you go and invite, I don't want to say nobody's name. I don't want to say nobody's name because the guy has enough trouble already. But you go invite some innocent bystanding bishop from Texas. Come on down here, Theodore, and hang out with us. It's a perfectly legitimate party, right? Oprah's coming, all of your minions are coming, and you come out there and you have a dinner and you go home. Why should you be implicated in all of this mess too? You almost killed. I'm gonna say it, dog. You almost killed poor TD Jakes with this. TD couldn't even preach. TD had a stroke in TD had a stroke on live on Main Street on camera because of this. Y'all almost killed the bishop, man. Y'all almost killed the bishop, man. Bishop couldn't even. Just let me go. Y'all almost killed the bishop over this, man. Okay, leave the bishop alone, man. Bishop went to a little party, hang out at a little party, had some chicken and some ribs. Okay, leave the bishop alone, man. And you guys probably had some old big back, thick neck brother in there, probably looking like the bishop, saying, "Is this Jakes? Was that Bishop Jakes in the purple room?" No, it was not Bishop Jakes in the purple room. The bishop, don't you see the bishop 67 years old looking like he's 87? What the heck is Bishop? What could Bishop Jakes 67 years old? Look at Bishop Jakes and tell me if he looks like a 67-year-old man. Bishop Jakes look like an 80-something-year-old man right now. Got to give the church to his daughter because he can't preach. At 67, I got a bishop in Canada. He's 97 years old, still preaching, still walking on his own. At 67, he can't preach no more. What did you guys do to the bishop, man? I don't know what Puffy put in his drinks over there. Leave the bishop out of this. You can't just be including people. You having a party and you invite the man of God and the man of God come in there. Shouldn't have gone. But I ain't saying TD should not have gone to that doggone party. TD should have said, I have never been to a P-Diddy party. And he can't say it. He can't say that. He should have said, I've never been there. He can't say it. He's been there. TD Jakes is only about 11 years older than me. And I'm telling you right now, in 11 years, look at me. In 11 years, I'm going to look just like this. In fact, I'm probably going to blacken this beard up, and I'm going to look 10 years younger than I look now. You tell me that 67-year-old man can't preach no more? You can't preach no more? Man. Hey, Zenobia, don't get me started on LeBron James. Since LeBron James went to a Puffy party, we can't win their championship. Can't win their championship. That's what did it to him. Y'all looking at all those accolades. LeBron can't win a championship. You can't win it when you've been affected by the Puffy demon. That Puffy demon is a losing spirit. Think about all the people connected to Puffy. Where Biggie at? Where all these groups? What J-Lo had to run for her doggone life. J-Lo had to get out of Dodge. Right? That's a losing brand, baby. That's a spirit that finds you, Cassie. Cassie. Remember Cassie? Cassie was official girl. I was like, ooh, Cassie. Official girl. Look at her career. I'm telling you right now, other than that official girl, I can't name a Cassie song. I can't name a Cassie song. Do you know a Cassie song? I don't know a Cassie song. He's a vampire, bro. He sucks the life out of everything that you got attached to you. Old Jake's out there like 87 years old. He's 67. LeBron James still running around like an old dude in the gym, in the YMCA. Hey, man, you shoot the ball. You shoot the ball. Come on now. Come on, young fella. I'm out here trying to help you. I'm the king now. Get up. No championships for him. Come on, Luka. Hurry up, Luka. Get out here, Luka. No championships for you. No. Can't win with that spirit. That spirit get on you, baby. Everything start to lose. Everything start to just dry up. And that old snake, Sean Combs, is going to slither out of that court system. You see him, he got gray hair. All of a sudden, Puffy got gray hair and a gray beard overnight, 4 months, right? He's going to slither out of there like a broken little, and he's going to shed that little skin and be back being a snake again. Now, that Rico case, they did too much with that. And that might get him off because they did too much. But all they need to do is charge him for beating the girl up. They did too much. And the thing is, I have a feeling that the settlement prevented them from charging him with domestic violence because he settled that. And so it probably Don't know. I don't know how the law works over there, but it probably precluded them from being able to charge him with the domestic stuff, because they said, don't worry about the domestic stuff. We're going to go after him for federal charges, because the domestic charges are state charges, and there's no state charges. They just went federal. So when he gets off the federal, he's going to walk. Because they went too far. And I'd like to know. That's the one thing I got to say about Star Peterson. When his son went to jail, he wasn't quiet. That preacher wasn't quiet. He started to talk. Now they just almost tried to kill Tory Lanez in jail. That's my sub story. They tried to kill, they stabbed Tory Lanez 14 times in jail. 14 times, collapsed both the boys' lungs. Now, all of a sudden, a bodyguard is coming forward to say, hey, Tory didn't shoot. Tory was trying to wrestle the gun out, and the young lady shot. They're trying to do that now. But the point is, his father was never silent. Where is Cassie's daddy? I'd be in that trial every day looking at that boy like, I hope they let you out. I hope they let you out. I hope they let you out. I'll be right here when they let you out, boy. I'll be right here. Please, Lord, let him out. Let him out. Let him out to me. Let him out. You better hope they don't let you out. But I hope they let you out. That's where I would be. I don't understand these I don't understand these Negroes. I don't understand them. Not me and them. Idiot. I don't understand them. Oh, who's that in Black Lightning? Looks distinguished. They try to sacrifice Tory. Hey man, I like who's this talking right with me right now? I like your takes. Tia John, you're making a lot of sense. Yeah, listen. I think they might be, because Tory Lanez, the dude that tried to kill Tory Lanez in jail, he's got life. So they paid him because he has nothing to lose, right? So they said, okay, I need you to go out there and finish the business. So I wonder who paid that dude to go in there and kill Tory Lanez. Listen, Tory Lanez, if Tory Lanez don't come out of jail and start singing gospel, Tory Lanez's dad, Star Peterson, is an associate of mine. I can't say friend. He was at one time we were close, and he preached at my church. Fantastic preacher. Tory Lanez, I don't even know why he calls himself Tory Lanez, because his name is Daystar. What a great name! Why would you call yourself Tory Lanez when your name is Daystar Peterson? That's a powerful name. So anyway, that's a man of God, baby. Tory Lanez, 14 stab wounds, and you okay? They said he was chilling. They said he was recovering. He was talking. He was fine. 14 stab wounds got him in the face, the neck. Both of his lungs collapsed. They were breathing for him. Come on. If you don't come out of prison, and now the evidence has come that's going to let you out, because they're going to say, yeah, he never did it. I saw it for myself. He never did it. And when you come out of jail, if you go back to singing these dirty little songs, God strike you down, because you don't know your value. You don't know what you've been put on the earth for. And everybody has to go through your Joseph moment. Fine. You got to go through your Joseph moment when you realize the fullness of your gift. But brother, you come out of jail and you don't realize the hand of God is on your life, and you go back singing those little reckless. Look, come on, Tory, man. You should be Thai tribute. You should be, come to my church. Come lead worship in Toronto, where your daddy is. Come out here, because there's no reason for you to go back to that life. Hey, listen, I'm finished. This is my time. I'm just here to let you know that you can't build a precedent on false concepts. And if a man is a murderer, don't call him an embezzler. If a man is a thief, okay? If he's a thief, don't call him something else, right? Call him what he is. right? The church has a song say, "Call him by his name, call him by his name, Jesus, Jesus." Call the man by whatever he's done. What has he done? He's abused Cassie. He's a deviant. He's a sexual deviant. Charge him with the abuse of her and leave it alone and let him go to jail for that. And if you can't do that, don't create this witch hunt, because Puffy's going to bounce back. He's a serpent. He's a serpent. He's going to come out of this. He's going to come out of this better at what he does, because he's going to feel he's Teflon. Nah, don't make no sense. That thing going to fall, and you know, you're coming after the satanic. He's protected by Satan, because Puffy is protected by satanic evil powers, and the Bible says it like this: if Satan fights against Satan, his kingdom can't stand. That's what's happening. That's what happens in there. It's Satan versus Satan. There ain't no winner there. It's just a mess. Let me say the last few sentences. He's black. They can do whatever they want. That's why you stay on the straight and narrow. I hear you. Sub-Zero said something funny. Let me see what Sub-Zero said. Where are they? P-Diddy, drip, drip. He's hard-headed. We talked about Tory Lanez, I'm sure, there. He's going to write a book about it, and he probably hosted a freak off in jail. Tory Lanez. And P-Diddy probably did too. Yeah, but he didn't do what R. Kelly did. R. Kelly been making music in there. Puffy just fighting for his doggone life. God is almighty. God will turn his back on him. We'll see what happens. Bless everybody. Thank you very much for coming on. The Real Spiel. Share, subscribe. This is the Shiloh Institute. We appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the commentators. I like the positive commentators that came on today. I didn't get too many crazy people. I just had one crazy person that said Latinos for Trump. For you. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.